What's up, other party people? Today I'm going to show you how to make Shanghai Style Bok Choy. So the first step is to head to your refrigerator or wherever you keep your bok choy and grab it and toss it on the cutting board. So personally, I like my bok choy, I don't know, a bit smaller because I can't fit a whole bok choy in my mouth. So I like to quarter it or maybe even halve it if it's small enough. Like, these are pretty small, so I'll probably just cut these in half. And this recipe, I feel, is pretty simple. All it is bok choy, some oyster sauce, and some garlic. So let's get started. I guess technically you should probably wash these, but I'm gonna boil them in boiling water anyway, so I feel like it's not super necessary. Alright. Easy peasy. You got your bok choy halved, and let's get some boiling water started up. Whoops. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna wait for that to boil and then we can toss the bok choy in. Actually, I guess I can just toss it in now because I'm gonna need a cutting board. Grab the leaves, of course, unless you don't like them, but I suspect that you do. Alright. And let's start cutting the garlic. So I personally like to cut my garlic myself. I know a lot of people like to buy the store-bought version or like the pre-diced kind, which is fine. But I think cutting it yourself gives you a lot of street cred and builds character. So that's what I recommend. But of course, I can't fault you either way. All right. So let me just finish peeling this and we can get to chopping. So I guess the idea behind chopping garlic is the more you crush it and the more you smash it, the more the garlic flavor that comes out. So I guess if you really like that garlic flavor, you can microplane it or dice it up or smash it up in a mortar and pestle or something real fine. But I'm down to just get a bit of that garlic flavor. Alright. So after we dice up this garlic, we're going to mix it in a oyster sauce and water mixture, about 1:1. And since our bok choy is pretty small and we're not really cooking that much of it, probably use about, in this case, maybe like a tablespoon or so. I suspect you probably want to use about like 1 tablespoon per 2 bok choy, or depends on how big your bok choy is, I guess. But yeah, it's up to you to adjust the flavor as you see fit. Alright. The small garlic you don't really need to mince up, but I am just for the sake of it. Alright, so your garlic's ready and your water's hopefully close to boiling. Yeah, it's looking good. And maybe let the bok choy boil for about 4 or 5 minutes. Let's get started with the sauce. Missing a pan. What the heck? Oh, here it is. So all you're going to do is heat up some oil and toss your garlic in. Ideally, you don't toss the garlic in when the oil's too hot. Otherwise, it burns kind of quick and you have less control over what's going on there. So maybe about a teaspoon or so, or half a tablespoon of olive oil, of vegetable oil, But of course, you can add more if you want it to taste better. I'm just trying to be a bit healthier. Alright, and get the garlic in there. Get it as coated as you can with the oil, which will be hard if you don't put too much. And while we wait for that to heat up, we can get started with our oyster sauce mixture. So like I said, about 1 tablespoon because we're not using too much bok choy. I'm just gonna eyeball it because I don't know, I don't want to have to clean like a tablespoon measuring thing. Alright, that looks good enough. Oop. Alright. And it's easier if you mix it with hot water typically, just because, I don't know, I feel like it dissolves it quicker and you don't have to mix it as much. I'm just going to mix it with some chopsticks. Alright, and once it's mixed reasonably well, you can toss it in with your garlic and oil. So as you can see, the garlic's just starting to brown, which is a pretty ideal time to put this in, and you get to hear one of my favorite sounds in the kitchen. Alright, that was actually a little disappointing, but acceptable, I suppose. Alright, you can let that simmer for a little bit, and by this point your bok choy should be just about ready. So take it out and put it in a bowl. It should be big enough. You could organize it a bit better than I do, just to make it look a bit more aesthetic, but honestly doesn't matter too much. Grab some leaves. Okie doke. Alright, so we got our bok choy and our sauce is just about ready. You can turn off the heat. And all you gotta do is douse your bok choy with the sauce. You want to get it in all those nooks and crannies, like so. Easy. Alright, that's how you make Shanghai Style Bok Choy.